It's time to dive beneath the surface and into the minds and hearts of your favorite celebrities and pop culture icons. Welcome to Up and Adam.
Hey guys, what's up? You're watching Up and Adam. My name's Adam Knoll. And for those of you who don't know me, I'm the guy bringing you guys all the weekly interviews and recaps from your favorite celebrities and pop culture influencers. But for those of you who do know me, you know that that's not why we're always here, right? Guys, if you haven't already, go ahead, hit that like button, subscribe to my channel, and hit that notification bell because you don't want to miss anything we have coming up. And with that being said, let's jump right in. So guys, we've all been watching The Real Housewives of Atlanta season 13, and it has been absolutely insane. We've been waiting for Strippergate. Strippergate was kind of like the one thing we knew, sort of like we get from every franchise, like one season on Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, we got Puppygate. Another season, we had Threesomegate. You know, we always get some sort of gate. Pantygate. We have the gates, and this is Strippergate. So we are, I guess, addressing Strippergate at this point. We saw it happen. We've been waiting for it. We've been teased about it since 2020, and boom, we just watched it this past week. Wow. So what we know and what we don't know about Strippergate. What we do know is the fact that Bolo the stripper came and not only did his job and did it well, but stayed the night. Mr. Bolo didn't end up leaving until about 7:05 o'clock in the morning. 7:05 o'clock in the morning. Who am I? But 7:05 o'clock in the morning, he didn't leave, which means he was in somebody's room and we didn't know who, so we were trying to get to the bottom of it. But what we do know is there's one other castmate who's trying to get to the bottom of it, and she had her daughter in her room, so we know she didn't sleep with Mr. Bolo. Kenya Moore has been at the forefront of trying to figure out who exactly was the one person or were the two women that hooked up with Bolo after the after party. Kenya Moore went around on the episode and she started asking around. She was talking to Cynthia Bailey about Drew Sidora. She was talking to Kandi Burruss, to which Kandi replied back, "Girl, why don't you just stop? Let people have their fun. Let people have their private moments and stop trying to make something out of it." LaToya Ali was getting a little bit frustrated, which was interesting to me, only because I say this. It was interesting because Kenya and LaToya have been like this the whole time. However, in true Real Housewives fashion, we know when you bring on a person or when someone comes on and they latch onto a seasoned housewife like LaToya is with Kenya, eventually something's going to happen in that dynamic where she might start getting on with the other women and then seeing something that Kenya's doing that's a little bit annoying. For example, trying to figure out who hooked up with Bolo. And she's like, wait a minute, now I see what all of you guys were talking about. Now I see why you guys don't trust Kenya. Yeah, that's exactly what happened. So the speculation, well, probably the biggest question was, who actually did sleep with Bolo? Who slept with Bolo the stripper that night in Kandi's dungeon when the mistress went to bed? Now, the mistress didn't technically go to bed, but kind of, sort of. She heard some noises, and she knew that there was allegedly two, so she says. But which two were they? Was it Tanya, Sam, and Porsha, or was it Porsha and LaToya Ali? So many questions. Porsha eventually came out in the mid-season trailer, and she said, "I did it. I Bolo." Not only did she yell, "I Bolo," with a confirmation, but she said, "I everybody." And this is where we're questioning it a little bit. Mind you, this was the mid-season trailer, and she was getting frustrated. Porsha was getting annoyed because Kenya was digging. She was trying to figure out who hooked up with the stripper just so she could expose them, turn it into a storyline, and really embarrass that person for, well, not only the rest of the season, but the rest of their lives. This is not just being on the internet. This is on national television. This is something that Porsha will have to live through. Her daughter will have to live through. Her ex-fiance, Dennis McKinley will have to live through. It's big. So what Kenya is doing here is big. That's why Kandi Burruss, she even said on, I want to say 2 episodes ago, on the bus ride when she was going to Carolina, she said, if I'm going to engage in any sort of activity with my partner, my husband, and add a third party, you better best on your best note, believe that you will be signing an NDA. I think that's probably why she was a little frustrated herself when it came to Kenya Moore. Only because at this point, what are you doing? You knew that this was a fun party. You engaged. You got into it a little bit. So why are you trying to, I guess, switch it, flip it for your benefit? Well, guys, let me tell you exactly why. Kenya Moore had to take a season off because she married Mark Daly without letting the cameras into her life, which is kind of a big no-no when you're a reality TV star, because that was a big moment that the cameras missed out on. You can't end off a season on the Real Housewives of Atlanta and be this single woman and then all of a sudden come back and be like, I'm married 6 months later, because then we won't understand as the viewers what exactly happened in between. And I believe that was a problem for Bravo. So now that the fact that they decided to bring her back, yeah, I feel like Kenya really wanted to deliver. And she didn't want to deliver on what was exactly going on in her house, because mind you, she is going through probably what is now a nasty divorce. Who knows? We'll wait and see how it plays out. A custody battle. She's going through a lot. She breaks down even in Carolina, where she's like, you ladies be my village. You be my village. And we see that she's hurting. If she's hurting like this, then she's not going to want to share these moments in her life, because sometimes we as people feel like if we share these vulnerable moments, that they make us look like we're weak. Now, Kenya doesn't look weak in any capacity, because she's not. However, it does make sense that she would want to take the heat off of her own relationship, her own custody situation, and put it on someone else, especially someone who dragged her across the reunion floor. I don't know if you guys forgot about this, but Porsha Williams did drag Kenya across the reunion floor, and you sometimes don't forget about these things. So if she's going after Porsha, it makes sense. I'm not saying it's right, but it would make sense. Now, when Porsha said, I bolo and I everybody, Kenya said, yes, you did, and it was good, according to several people. So she didn't mind coming right back at Porsha, letting her know, I'm not only digging in here, I'm not only the bone carrier, but I'll hand you that bone right back and call it out in your face. When producers asked Porsha to come for this new sort of fun interview-esque type situation where they were doing the confessionals, but it seemed like they were being interrogated, Kenya had a cigarette and it was a little dramatic. Cynthia came in and she was being kind of cutesy fun, but Porsha pleaded the fifth. Porsha didn't want to come forward and share any information because she knows what happened, and she's like, I asked for the cameras to be gone. I asked you guys, are you shutting down the cameras? I gave my mics. We covered the cameras. Why is this a conversation if this woman is not reaching? At this point, I feel like Porsha and Kenya will never be able to move past this. They're never going to be able to forge a relationship. And I don't know if that started this season. I don't know if it started the first season that they met when Porsha got Kenya's title wrong, or if it was when Porsha dragged Kenya across the reunion floor. Regardless, there was a disconnect at some point, and I don't think that there is any resolve that we can look forward to here. But what we can look forward to is seeing how the rest of this plays out, seeing what the rest of season 13 of The Real Housewives of Atlanta looks like. And mind you, it's not all on Porsha. There was one other woman who was allegedly involved, whether it was Tanya Sam, who ended up leaving The Real Housewives of Atlanta because she was not going to let being on a reality show be the detriment of her relationship with her fiance, not husband, but fiance, what she likes to call her life partner. She left because of this big mess, but she's not the only one with drama. It seems like LaToya Ali might be allegedly hooking up with a leader of a church, a pastor. Everyone was going crazy about this, by the way. They were like, please tell me LaToya Ali is not with Pastor Giselle Bryant's technically ex-husband. No, guys, that is not the pastor that she was allegedly hooking up with, so let's move on. Let's keep it moving. This has nothing to do with Real Housewives of Potomac. However, not just Porsha, not just Tanya leaving, not just Kenya stirring up the pot. There are more people who have storylines to be addressed here. Drew Sidora is faced with family drama when it comes to her oldest child because her oldest child's father wants to come back into their lives. Obviously, that presents not a problem, but a technicality for the family and how they're going to maneuver moving forward. But hey, this is real life, and this is called The Real Housewives. So what better way to go through this than sharing it with all of us, the Bravo fans, Bravo super fans, that are going to love you and help you along the way. Now, it wasn't just them, but Drew Sidora and LaToya Ali have had this kind of back and forth little riff going on. It started when LaToya Ali said that Drew Sidora's wig looked like a cat sitting on her head or looked like a dog or whatever. She was making fun of the wig, calling it a pet. I don't know what she called it, but it was uncalled for, and there was really no reason for it. Drew Sidora ended up addressing this on the cast trip, but it was after LaToya Ali put her hands on her, only grabbing her by the arm and just saying, like, let me talk to you, listen, pretty much listen. And I've talked to a few other women, some who are Canadian women just like LaToya Ali, and they say that we talk with our hands, we grab, we touch, and that's okay. And if that's the case, then okay, maybe LaToya Ali, maybe she wasn't trying to be aggressive or get in Drew Sidora's face at all. That might just be the way that she talks, and some people talk by touching. However, Drew Sidora is not the woman who wants to be touched. So moving forward, again, with this LaToya Ali rumor of allegedly hooking up with the pastor, Drew Sidora put out a statement saying, you weren't looking for God, you were looking for good. The D word. That's what she said. Now, does LaToya Ali drag Drew Sidora across the floor? I'm not sure. Would most people, when you make a statement like that, just a little bit, yeah, sorry. However, what I want to know is, Kenya Moore is alluding to the fact that Drew is broke. Drew and her husband, Ralph, are broke, and that's what she's giving us for a storyline. I want to know, what is the truth? Did Porsha end up hooking up with Bolo? Of course she did. Allegedly. Who was the second person? Is Drew Sidora broke? Did LaToya Ali actually hook up with the pastor who is not Pastor Jamal Bryant? And where does Candy and Cynthia fill into all of this? Aside from Cynthia giving us her wedding, you know, we'll have to wait and see. Guys, if you haven't already, go ahead, hit that like button, show some love, comment below, let me know your thoughts because I'm so interested. You know how this works. I love hearing what you have to say, and I read all of your comments. And also, don't forget to check out my other video. Bravo. Okay, let me rephrase this. NBC is releasing a new franchise through their streaming service called Peacock, which is a Bravo affiliate, only for the simple fact that they fall under the NBC umbrella and they will be casting Bravo celebrities. A new show is coming out, a new Bravo show that is going to take 2 housewives from Real Housewives of Atlanta, Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, Real Housewives of New Jersey, and Real Housewives of New York, and they're going to put them together in this new show where it's almost like, I guess, a mirror version of what we see when we see the women go on these cast trips. It's going to put them on vacation, but having to address some real situations. Now, I know who the cast is, allegedly, and again, if you want to know, go ahead and check out the video. But until next time, if you haven't already, go ahead, hit that like button, show some love, subscribe to my channel, hit that notification bell, and we'll see you next time. Bye, guys.
Thanks for watching Up and Adam.